Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
How does that sound make you feel? Are you afraid? Are you comforted? Are you panic-stricken? Are you upset? My name is Babette Small. Let's talk about it. Many of you know the name Philandro Castle. He was shot twice through the heart. His girlfriend posted it live on Facebook for the whole world to see the aftermath of his demise. He was asked by the police officer, did he have a weapon? He said yes, because he was licensed to carry that weapon. The result was that he was shot and killed at the hands of law enforcement. The police officer was tried and found not guilty of the crime. The result was massive marches, vigils, media campaigns on both sides of that fence, that blue line and the line of the community. Walter Scott is another human being whose life was taken at the hands of law enforcement on April 4th, 2015. He was shot in the back 5 times as he ran from the police officer. The police officer involved tased him. It did very little to him, and so he was shot 5 times in the back. After he was shot 5 times in the back, the officer threw down the taser at his body and falsely claimed that Mr. Scott tried to tase him. All of this was brought to light by a bystander who gave up their video, but not before the officer had falsely accused the decedent as being the aggressor. The result of that situation is a federal judge sentenced that police officer to 20 years in prison. The list goes on. It's long and it's varied. A few names that hit the media pretty hard that some of you may realize and remember. Terrence Crutcher died September 16th, 2016. Altyne Sterling lost his life on July 5th, 2016. Eric Harris lost his life August 2nd, 2015. Tony Robinson, March 6, 2015. Rumain Brisbane, December 2nd, 2014. Tamar Rice lost his life November 22nd, 2014. Laquan McDonald lost his life October 20th, 2014. Michael Brown Jr. lost his life August the 9th, 2014. And Eric Garner lost his life July 17th, 2014 in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, this topic is such a hot button to me because I'm raising a future African American black male. My son, Sebastian Tyrone Small II, we love to call him Junior, is 9 years old. Last month, he told me he wanted to be an airline pilot. The month before that, I believe it was a chef. And the month before that, he wanted to be a skateboard professional. All I want for my son is for him to actually grow up and have a choice to be anything he wants to be at all. It is my goal to inspire you, to inform you and to challenge you to be the change you want to see. You can do that by doing 5 things. Pretty simple if you just accept them and spread them. But before we get to those 5 challenges, I want to talk to you a moment about something that goes on in African American homes now more than ever. We have that famed birds and the bees talk, like any other household. There's another talk that goes on. It's called the talk. And that talk is how to survive an encounter with law enforcement. And it changes as your African American male grows. My 9-year-old has had the talk that includes how to behave if you're approached by law enforcement, how to speak if you're approached by law enforcement, how to stand and make no sudden moves if you're approached by law enforcement, how to hold your hands in a non-threatening manner if you're approached by law enforcement. As my son grows older, unfortunately, I'll have to tailor make the information I give him to meet his age and his physical being. That's not a comfortable conversation, and not one I'd ever thought would become commonplace in so many African American homes today. I challenge you, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to do anything about this, we're raising our future law enforcement. Some of us are married to law enforcement. Some of us have adult children that are law enforcement. I issue this challenge. Learn to recognize and understand your privilege. Everybody. Recognize it. Understand it. So that you will become sympathetic to another race's desire to achieve. 2. Examine your own bias. Consider where you picked them up from. Consider the source of those bias. Validate the experience and feelings of people of color. That goes without saying or explanation. I challenge you to challenge that colorblind ideology. I don't see color, I just see people. If more people thought like that, we would be in a better place. But deep down, there are biases holding them from that. And 5, call out racism. Call out racist jokes and comments from your friends, from your families, and redirect them on the spot. I didn't say it would be easy. Now, who's willing to do the work? Thank you for listening.